Hi everyone, it's Chenso from Reality Art Pod, here to talk about Survivor Season 50, Episode 2, titled Therapy Carousel. Last week on Survivor, our 24-person all-star cast hit the beach, and when Sela lost immunity, Season 1's Jenna got the boot, and after an injury in the challenge, Vatu's Kyle left in a boot. Before I dive in, I put links in the description and pinned comment to my playlist to catch up on my previous recaps, and to try Paramount Plus for free. If you liked the video, consider liking and subscribing to get more same-day Survivor recaps. But let's dive into it. We pick back up where we left off. On Vatu, Kyle is waving goodbye on the boat, and the tribe is devastated. Genevieve is both upset for Kyle and for herself having lost an ally. The alliance is Q, Colby, Genevieve, and Stephanie, minus Kyle, and minus Q and Colby's votes. After losing theirs in the premiere, Q decides to open up to Rizzo about his lost vote. Rizzo thinks he's done a great job, having started off a target but working his way into a PowerPoint in the game. He's impressed with himself for turning the other players around quickly. On Sela, Mantis, you better pray, girl. Christian is acting disturbed. Joe thinks Christian threw his back out, but turns out Christian has soiled himself. Joe tells Emily that Christian's turtle head came out and sprayed. Christian tells us his wife is gonna divorce him over this. Professor Poopy Pants and the other players head to their challenge, where they learn that Jenna and Kyle aren't there. Camilla gets emotional about Kyle's medevac. Ozzy shares that he was even having back spasms at the first challenge with the keys. Jeff asks Coach about that challenge. Jeff knows Coach has something to say, and Coach is set off, saying that he's playing the game with dignity, but he's gonna blow his game up, calling Ozzy out for allegedly offering Q the key in the challenge. Ozzy tells Coach never would have gotten the key if Ozzy wasn't there. Coach gets heated, saying he's played the same way he's always played, with honor and integrity. Ozzy confirms and shades Coach, saying Coach is right, he's playing just like he did in South Pacific. In their reward challenge, players will leap off their platform to smash tiles to release their keys. Other players will dive down to release their rings. Then the final group will unlock and land their rings on the ring toss. First place to finish wins reward of 2 hammocks and a tarp. Second place wins the teeny tarp. And last place, sorry for you, nothing. They get started with Camilla sitting out. Jeff calls Mike the new and improved Mike, praising his physique as Mike gets his tribe off to an early lead. But Ozzy flies across this for Sela, getting a 10 from Jeff for his gorgeous dive. Savannah aces her balance beam and swims like a fish to get Sela's rings. Aubrey has a swing and a miss so ferocious, you can hear the whoosh of her mallet cutting the air as she hits nothing but the water with her face. Savannah gets the Selas to their ring toss first, and Jonathan has 2 gorgeous dives to get the Callows there too. Aubrey does hit her target, and everyone makes it to the ring toss. Devins finishes the ring toss for the Selas. They come in first, and Coach secures the win, getting second for the Callows. Coach tries to explain to us that everything he did at the challenge was intentional because yesterday's enemy is tomorrow's adversary. I love Coach's quotes, but this one made no sense to me. The Vatu's bad day continues. They have no Kyle and no tarp. They're eating stale coconut, but pretending it's delicious. Aubrey feels like she's in a group of lunatics. She tells us she's had a rough relationship with Survivor and struggles to keep her energy in check, but she's learned to stay patient and wait for things to change. Genevieve thinks Aubrey's being precious and suspicious with her bag. She's convinced that someone from the other tribe gave Aubrey their Billy Idolish, so the Alliance decides to go through Aubrey's bag, with Q being the lookout and screaming the discreet code word, "Let's go!" So they go through Aubrey's bag and, of course, find nothing, because there's nothing to find. On Callow, Jonathan catches a fish. He's loving the other players underestimating him. Jonathan takes Coach out fishing, but Coach becomes unwell. He's laying belly up. The Survivor rescue team saves Coach, who has not passed away. He has a massive cramp in both legs and can't walk. Mike says Coach was like a bug in a pool. Coach thinks he would have died without Jonathan, so Coach puts on his suit, and Chrissy massages Coach's legs. Dee thinks this tribe is a chaotic dynamic, and she thinks Chrissy is bossy. Charlie likes Chrissy, but admits that she's annoying people, so he wants to distance himself from her. And there's a montage of Chrissy where she's supposed to look annoying, but she doesn't look very annoying. Oh, she's too damn much, the way she rubs Coach's cramp. What a monster. Kill the beast. Back at Sela, Savannah continues to lie to the others, denying winning an advantage on the journey. Ozzy and Savannah pitch an alliance to Devins. With the 3 of them and Joe, Devins isn't open to it. He's already got his alliance. He's even considering targeting Joe because Joe is too principled. God forbid Joe rubs someone's cramp. Joe sees Devins and Savannah whispering and thinks it's suspicious, so he asks Devins what happened, and Devins continues to act suspicious about it, and Devins is annoyed with Joe for asking him about the whispering. Christian agrees with his buddy Devins, saying they need to put Joe on a Joe-tation, taking turns babysitting him. In the Joe Devins drama, Christian accidentally finds the Billy Idolish boomerang idol, so he has to choose someone from an opposing tribe to send it to, choosing to send it to Aubrey. Aubrey is so happy to find the miracle idol in her bag. In confessional, Christian wishes Aubrey Godspeed and safe travels. The other players on Vatu catch crabs, but poor Rizzo gets clipped. He needs to disinfect his cut. Q says Rizzo does nothing around camp, so he's annoyed with Rizzo and says Angelina is lazy easy like a statue. All she does is look and watch. They head to their immunity challenge, where they'll race out into the jungle and retrieve their heavy-ass snakes. After retrieving 3 snakes, 3 players will work together to navigate a ball through their snake maze. The first 2 tribes to complete this will win immunity. They get started with Chrissy sitting out for Callow. Whoa, mama, these snakes are big and heavy. But Jonathan makes the snake look small when he carries the whole snake. Camilla does a good job pretending to help. Jonathan does a barrel roll for no reason. Genevieve and Rizzo are taking a really long time for Vatu, with Rizzo not beating the weak and lazy allegations from Q, but Colby frog marches the snake into the station. Sela gets to the snake maze first, but all 3 tribes are really neck and neck. Genevieve, Rizzo, and Angelina pull together and win first place for Vatu, and Camilla snake charms the Callow ball from falling, and they win second place, sending Sela and Ozzy, who has the Billy Idolish boomerang idol wedged in his hoo-ha, to tribal council. So Sela heads back to camp. Devins tells us the 3 targets are Ozzy, Joe, and Savannah. Emily tells Suri that Ozzy's an option, not what Suri wants to hear. Suri tells Emily they should keep Ozzy because his social game sucks, and insists they need to consider the other 2 options instead. Suri is putting in work for Ozzy, reminding the others that Joe is annoying them, and Savannah's lying to them about her advantage. Ozzy is enamored by Suri's strategy. To secure her loyalty, he gives Suri his extra vote, giving her her first advantage in 5 seasons. She's thrilled. Elsewhere, Joe pulls Savannah for a chat. Savannah tells Joe that she and Ozzy were whispering to Devins about making an alliance with Joe. Joe tells us he has trauma from his previous season, and he tells Devins it makes no sense that Devins didn't tell Joe about the alliance that Joe was in. Devins continues to be annoyed with Joe, both in confessional and rolling his eyes to Joe's face. Joe tries to tell Devins that trust is how he plays the game, and Devins storms off. Christian talks to Joe, rocking Joe in his bassinet. Christian calls this a therapy carousel. Oop, he said the thing. Suri is hamming it up, acting annoyed with Joe, rallying the votes against him. Savannah tells us, and the other players, she thinks Suri is piling on Joe to save Ozzy. She encourages them to reconsider voting Ozzy. Emily again seems down. Christian fills Devins in on the Billy Idolish, and that he gave it to Aubrey. Devins is happy to hear that there are idols in the game. He proposes that they hide a fake idol at Tribal, with Christian's clue that they can use in a future Tribal. Devins calls this heist Ocean Season 50, which should have been the episode title. So the Sealas head to Tribal Council, where Joe quickly tells Jeff about his and Devin's argument, hashing out that there's still tension between them, both being stubborn. Ozzy says he's feeling anxious because he acted frustrated at the challenge. Savannah says she learned on her season to be vulnerable with people, and she gets emotional, saying she has no choice but to be herself on this season, and hoping people like her and want to work with her. They find no resolution in the Joe Devins drama, and head to the vote. I was shocked when Ozzy didn't play the idol. No advantages are played, and Jeff reads the votes. There's 1 vote in that thing for Ozzy from Savannah, and 6 votes for Savannah from everyone else, sending Savannah out of the game. On the tribe's way out, Christian stages a fall to distract the group, and Devins plants the fake idol near the fire. Christian continues to act drunk or unwell, walking back to camp. He may even have soiled himself to sell the bit.
I can't believe you fell for that fake seizure!
But it seemed so real!
It did, didn't it?
And you peed!
So we say goodbye to Savannah here, who had 2 pretty good episodes. We saw her go on the journey, bonds with Colby, win an advantage. She lied about the advantage, but at least she committed to the bit. They were gonna say she was lying even if she didn't have the advantage, or targeted her if she came clean about it, so lying is what they deserved. In this episode, she performed well in both challenges, and ahead of Tribal, she was clocking Suri's tea. It seemed from Savannah breaking down at Tribal that she had an idea she was on the chopping block. It seemed very self-eulogizing. Her advantage wouldn't be enough to save her, even if she played it, so they voted out a winner, and she leaves with her reputation unscathed. Can we get Savannah on the challenge? Not like Challenge Casting watches my videos. If they did, I'd be doing a hall brawl in Thailand right now, not talking into my computer. Next episode, there's gonna be a tribe swap, but for now, let's talk about these tribes. We saw the Sealas continue to be chaotic. I didn't understand the drama about Joe. They seemed so annoyed with him for just being himself and being an honest guy. Truly, why was Devins being so weird with Joe about that conversation with Savannah? I was team Joe in that mess, if I'm honest. I enjoyed when Christian soiled himself, and I'm excited to see what happens with that fake idol at Tribal. Maybe there's a little poop on the clue. Suri really bodied that strategy and comes into the swap with a much needed extra vote. Love that for her. The Vatus would have been interesting to go to Tribal. Aubrey would have had a cool moment saving herself with the idol, but now she needs to be more careful. She's got a target on her back. You know Devins will want to get that idol from her. I'm happy this group made the swap. There's fun characters here, and maybe now we can get some silly Angelina content, though I'm very concerned for Q and Colby not having a vote at the swap. And the Callows, who survived to the swap intact, but interesting dynamics between them, as they're so dysfunctional, probably don't want to work together. The strongest grouping is the D Camilla Tiffany alliance, which may now become important. Yes, that's right. I have written Tiffany's name for the first time in this script here, as she was not on this episode. I don't know what's going to happen to this group, but they're a clear, easy target, and none of them have advantages, so I guess one of these 8 are the most likely next boot. But that's all I have to say about this episode. Let me know in the comments what you thought of the Joe Devon's beef and Savannah's departure. If you like this video, consider liking and subscribing, and check out the pinned comment for my link to try Paramount Plus for free. Until next time, you know where to find me. Bye.